"Excuse me, but we had an appointment to become who we're meant to be, and you're running a little late." See, we've been sold this lie that we should just accept ourselves as we are, never change, never grow, never evolve. And while self-acceptance is beautiful and necessary, there's a difference between loving yourself and settling for a version of yourself that makes you feel like you're suffocating. Your old self, that collection of habits, beliefs, reactions, and patterns that you've been carrying around, it served its purpose. It got you here. But darling, here isn't where you're staying. Now, I want to share something with you that's going to shift how you think about this whole transformation thing. There's this concept in biology called programmed cell death, and it sounds morbid, but stay with me because this is where it gets beautiful. Your body is constantly killing off old cells to make room for new ones. About every 7 to 10 years, you've literally replaced almost every cell in your body. You are not the same person you were a decade ago, not just metaphorically, but literally, cellularly, scientifically. Your body already knows how to die and be reborn. It's been doing it your whole life without you even noticing. But somehow, when it comes to our personality, our habits, our way of being in the world, we cling to them like they're family heirlooms. We say things like, "Well, that's just how I am," or "I've always been this way," as if our patterns of behavior were written in stone tablets instead of being more like sand castles that we rebuild every single day. Here's the truth that's going to set you free. You are not your habits. You are not your past. You are not even your thoughts. You are the awareness behind all of that, the creative force that has the power to choose, moment by moment, who you're going to be. And if you can choose who you're going to be, then you can choose to let the old version die. But here's where most people get stuck. They think transformation has to be this massive, dramatic overhaul. They think they need to quit their job, move to a different country, change their name, and start speaking with an accent. And when that feels overwhelming, they just don't start at all. But real transformation, the kind that actually lasts, happens in the smallest moments of choice. Every single day, you have hundreds of opportunities to choose the new you over the old you. When you wake up in the morning, do you immediately reach for your phone and scroll through other people's lives? Or do you take 3 conscious breaths and set an intention for your day? When someone cuts you off in traffic, do you react the way the old you always has? Or do you pause and respond from a place of centeredness? When you look in the mirror, do you automatically launch into the same old criticism? Or do you speak to yourself like someone you love? These might seem like tiny things, but here's what I've learned. Transformation isn't about making one giant leap. It's about making 1,000 tiny choices that all point in the same direction. It's about becoming someone who chooses love over fear, growth over comfort, possibility over limitation, one small decision at a time. So, let me give you a framework that's going to make this practical. I call it the Phoenix method, because just like that mythical bird, you're going to burn away what no longer serves you and rise from those ashes as something magnificent. First, you've got to identify what needs to die. And I don't mean anything dramatic. I mean those patterns, those ways of thinking, those automatic responses that keep you stuck. Maybe it's the voice in your head that says you're not good enough. Maybe it's the habit of saying yes when you mean no. Maybe it's the tendency to play small so other people feel comfortable. Whatever it is, name it. Write it down. Look it in the eye and say, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but your services are no longer required." Second, you need to create space for the new. Nature abhors a vacuum, so if you just try to stop old patterns without replacing them with something better, you're going to find yourself right back where you started. So for every old pattern you're releasing, consciously choose a new one to take its place. If you're letting go of self-criticism, what are you choosing instead? Self-compassion. If you're releasing the need to control everything, what are you choosing? Trust, flow, adventure. Third, you practice dying and being reborn every single day. Each morning, when you wake up, take a moment to consciously let go of who you were yesterday. Release any mistakes, any small failures, any moments when you fell back into old patterns. Forgive yourself completely. Then, consciously choose who you're going to be today. Not who you think you should be, not who other people want you to be, but who your soul is calling you to become. And here's the magical part. Every time you make a choice aligned with your new self instead of your old self, you're literally rewiring your brain. Neuroscience calls it neuroplasticity, but I like to think of it as giving your mind a makeover. Every new choice creates new neural pathways, and the more you use those pathways, the stronger they become, until eventually, being your new self becomes as natural as breathing. But I want to be honest with you about something, Toten. This process isn't always comfortable. There's a reason they call it growing pains. Your ego, that part of you that's been running the show for so long, is going to panic a little bit when you start changing. It's going to throw temper tantrums and try to convince you that change is dangerous, that you should just stay the same because at least you know what to expect. This is normal. This is part of the process. Don't let it scare you back into your old patterns. When you feel that resistance, when your ego starts screaming that you're making a mistake, just smile and say, "Thank you for sharing," and keep moving forward anyway. Because on the other side of that resistance is the life you've been dreaming of. Now, here's what I want you to do right now, today, before you even finish watching this video. I want you to pick one tiny pattern that represents the old you, something small but significant. Maybe it's checking your phone first thing in the morning. Maybe it's that little voice of self-doubt that pops up when you're about to try something new. Maybe it's the way you slouch when you walk, like you're trying to take up as little space as possible. Pick that one small thing, and for the next 7 days, I want you to consciously choose differently, just that one thing. Don't try to change your whole life one focus. Just change that one pattern, and watch what happens. Watch how making one conscious choice ripples out into other areas of your life. Watch how choosing your new self in one small way makes it easier to choose your new self in bigger ways. And here's something beautiful. Every time you make that choice, every time you choose growth over comfort, love over fear, your new self over your old self, you're not just transforming your own life. You're giving everyone around you permission to transform theirs too. You're becoming living proof that change is possible, that people can evolve, that we don't have to stay stuck in patterns that no longer serve us. See, the world needs your new self. It needs the version of you that's brave enough to let the old version die. It needs your authenticity, your growth, your willingness to become who you're meant to be. Because when you transform, you create a ripple effect that touches every single person you encounter. So here's my challenge for you. Don't just watch this video and nod along and then go back to your regular programming. Take action. Pick that one small pattern. Make that one small choice. Choose your new self over your old self, and then come back and tell us about it in the comments. Share your victory, no matter how small it seems. Because your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to start their own transformation. And if this resonated with you, if you're ready to keep growing, keep evolving, keep becoming the magnificent person you're meant to be, then subscribe and hit that notification bell. Because we're building a community of people who refuse to settle, who choose growth, who understand that the caterpillar's death is the butterfly's birth. Remember, darling, your old self dying isn't a tragedy. It's a graduation. It's a celebration. It's you finally stepping into the truth of who you've always been, underneath all those layers of conditioning and fear and other people's expectations. The butterfly was always there, waiting inside the caterpillar. Your new self is already there, waiting inside you. All you have to do is be brave enough to let it emerge. So go ahead, let your old self die, rise from those ashes, become who you're meant to be. The world is waiting for you. Now, before you think I'm about to tell you that money grows on trees if you just believe hard enough, let me share something that actually works. The universe, in all its infinite wisdom and slightly twisted sense of humor, operates on a very simple principle: that it gives you exactly what you're being, not what you're wanting. It's like the world's most accurate mirror, reflecting back to you not your dreams and wishes, but your actual identity, your habitual thoughts, your daily practices, your automatic responses. Think about it this way. If you met the millionaire version of yourself at a coffee shop tomorrow, how would they be different? Not just in what they have, but in how they think, how they talk, how they make decisions, how they treat their time, how they invest their energy. The millionaire version of you doesn't worry about whether they deserve success. They assume they do. They don't apologize for wanting nice things. They expect them. They don't think small thoughts. They can't, because their mind has expanded to match their vision. So here's the beautiful, slightly ridiculous truth. You can start being that person right now, today, before you have the bank account to match. You can start thinking their thoughts, making their decisions, developing their habits, carrying yourself with their confidence. It's like method acting for millionaires. And the best part is, the universe doesn't check your credit score before it starts treating you like the person you're being. Let's start with something so simple it's almost embarrassing. Start talking to yourself the way the millionaire version of you would. Stop saying, "I can't afford it," and start saying, "How can I afford it?" Stop saying, "I'm not good with money," and start saying, "I'm learning to be excellent with money." Stop saying, "Rich people are lucky," and start saying, "I create my own luck through smart decisions and persistent action." Your subconscious mind is listening to every word you say about yourself, and it's taking notes like an overly enthusiastic personal assistant. Next, and this one's going to feel weird at first, start making decisions from abundance instead of scarcity. When you're at the grocery store, instead of automatically grabbing the cheapest option while muttering about how expensive everything is, pause and ask yourself, what would the abundant version of me choose here? Maybe you still choose the less expensive option, but you choose it from a place of conscious decision-making rather than automatic limitation. Maybe you decide to invest in the organic vegetables because you're investing in your health, which is investing in your future earning capacity. Here's where it gets really fun. Start upgrading your environment in ways that cost little to nothing, but signal abundance to your subconscious. Clean your space like you're expecting important visitors. Organize your belongings like someone who values what they have. Dress well with what you already own. Walk like you own the sidewalk. The millionaire version of you doesn't live in chaos and dress like they don't matter. They honor themselves and their space, because they understand that how you do anything is how you do everything. Now, let's talk about time, because this is where most people completely miss the boat. Poor thinking makes you focus on saving money at the expense of time. Rich thinking makes you focus on investing time to create value. Stop spending 3 hours to save $5. Start spending those 3 hours learning a skill, building something, creating value, networking, or planning your next move. The millionaire version of you values their time more than their money, because they understand that time properly invested creates money, but money poorly spent just disappears. Here's a game changer that sounds almost too simple to work. Start treating your current income like it's exactly what you ordered from the universe, and then manage it like someone who's destined for more. Create systems, track your spending, automate your savings, invest something even if it's just pocket change. The millionaire version of you doesn't wait until they have a lot of money to get good with money. They got good with money with little amounts, which is exactly why the universe trusted them with larger amounts. And here's something that'll make you laugh at how backwards we usually do things. Start being generous before you feel like you can afford to be generous. I'm not talking about giving away money you need for rent, but being generous with compliments, with your time, with your knowledge, with your encouragement, with your genuine interest in others. The millionaire version of you understands that what flows out comes back multiplied, and they're not afraid to prime the pump of circulation. But here's the secret sauce. The thing that separates the people who just play dress up from the people who actually transform. You have to start believing that this version of you isn't someday you. It's right now, you're just waiting to be expressed. You're not becoming someone different. You're remembering who you actually are underneath all the conditioning and limitations you've picked up along the way. The millionaire version of you already exists. They're not living in some parallel universe waiting for you to earn enough points to unlock them. They're right there, in your thoughts, in your potential, in your natural talents, in your unique perspective on the world. They're in the way you light up when you talk about your dreams, in the solutions you see that others miss, in the value you could create if you stopped playing small. Every single day, you get to choose which version of yourself you're going to rehearse. You can keep perfecting your performance as someone who struggles, someone who can't quite make it, someone who has to wait for better circumstances. Or you can start rehearsing for the role you actually want to play, someone who creates value, someone who solves problems, someone who thinks abundantly, someone who expects good things and takes action to make them happen. Here's what I want you to do right now, today, before you go to bed tonight. Pick one thing, just one thing, that the millionaire version of you would do differently than you did it today. Maybe they would have walked taller, spoken more confidently, invested in themselves somehow, made a different choice about how to spend their time, treated themselves with more respect, or seen an opportunity where you saw an obstacle. Do that one thing. Be that person for just that one moment. And then tomorrow, do it again. And the next day, add one more millionaire behavior. Not because you're pretending or faking it, but because you're finally being honest about who you really are. You're finally dropping the act of being small and limited, and you're starting to express the abundant, creative, valuable person you've always been. The beautiful thing about this approach is that it doesn't require you to wait for permission, or for perfect circumstances, or for someone else to discover your worth. You can start right now, wherever you are, with whatever you have. You can start treating yourself like someone who matters, thinking thoughts like someone who's going places, and making choices like someone who creates their own luck. So here's my challenge for you. Stop rehearsing for the role of struggler and start auditioning for the part of millionaire. The universe is casting. The role is yours if you want it. And the only thing standing between you and that part is your willingness to show up differently than you showed up yesterday. Drop a comment below and tell me one thing you're going to start doing differently. One way you're going to start being the millionaire version of yourself today. And if this resonates with you, if you're ready to stop playing small and start playing the role you were born to play, hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started on this journey of becoming who you really are. Remember, darling, you're not broke. You're just temporarily between manifestations. The millionaire version of you is ready when you are. Is that our self-talk shapes our reality more than we realize. Think about it. If you're constantly telling yourself you're not good enough, smart enough, or worthy enough, guess what? Your actions start lining up with that script. It's like programming a computer with faulty code. Everything glitches. Why does this matter? Because it seeps into every corner of your life. Your relationships suffer when you doubt your value. Your work drags when you expect failure, and even your health takes a hit from all that inner stress. But here's the flip side. Change the dialogue, and you change the outcome. It's not magic. It's the power of your own mind at work. Let me break this down with a simple philosophical lens that stood the test of time. Picture your mind as a garden. Every thought is a seed you plant. Negative self-talk, that's sowing weeds that choke out the flowers. But positive affirmations, they're the fertile soil and sunshine that let beauty bloom. This isn't just feel-good fluff. It's rooted in the idea that what we affirm, we attract. Science backs it up too. Psychologists talk about cognitive behavioral therapy, where rewiring your thoughts leads to real changes in behavior and mood. Logically, if you repeat something often enough, it becomes your truth. So why not make it a empowering one? Over the next 3 days, we're going to cultivate that garden deliberately, weeding out the negativity and planting seeds of strength, joy, and success. Ready for the practical part? Great, because this is where the fun begins. We're not talking about some complicated ritual that requires incense and a full moon. No, these are straightforward steps you can start right now, even if you're lounging on the couch with a snack in hand. Let's call this our 3-day self-talk transformation. Day 1 focuses on awareness and interruption. Day 2 on replacement and reinforcement. And Day 3 on integration and celebration. I'll walk you through each, with tips that are as easy as tying your shoes well, maybe easier if you're like me and still fumble with laces sometimes. Starting with Day 1, awareness and interruption. The goal here is to catch that pesky inner critic in the act. First thing in the morning, grab a notebook or your phone's notes app. Jot down 3 things you're grateful for about yourself. It could be as simple as, I'm grateful for my ability to make a killer cup of coffee. Or, I'm thankful for my persistence, even on tough days. This sets a positive tone. Throughout the day, pay attention to your self-talk. Every time you hear something negative like, "I'm such an idiot for forgetting that," pause and say out loud or in your head, "Stop. That's not helpful." Humor helps here. Imagine your inner critic as a grumpy cartoon character with a funny voice. "Oh, there goes Grumpy Gus again, spouting nonsense." Laugh it off, then flip it to neutral. "Okay, I forgot, but now I'll remember next time." By bedtime, review your day. Note 2 instances where you interrupted negativity. Pat yourself on the back literally, if it makes you giggle. Now, why does this work? Because awareness is the key that unlocks change. Without noticing the pattern, you can't break it. And interrupting? It's like hitting the reset button on a glitchy game. Do this for just one day, and you'll feel lighter already. But don't stop there. Build on it. Moving to day 2, replacement and reinforcement. Now that you're spotting the weeds, it's time to plant those flowers. Start your morning with affirmations tailored to your challenges. If self-doubt is your nemesis, try something like, "I am capable and confident in all that I do." Say it in the mirror, with a smile, yes, even if it feels silly at first. It's like flexing a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger it gets. During the day, replace every negative thought with a positive counterpart. Caught thinking, "I'll never finish this project"? Swap it to, "I'm making steady progress, and it'll come together perfectly." To make it stick, tie it to actions. For example, if you're tackling a task, whisper, "I've got this." Before diving in, add a dash of humor. "All right, universe, let's make this epic instead of epic fail." Reinforce by surrounding yourself with positivity. Listen to uplifting music while commuting, or stick notes with affirmations on your fridge. "I am worthy of all good things," right next to the milk. At night, affirm your wins. "Today, I handled that meeting with grace, even if it was just ordering takeout without spilling." This day is about building momentum, turning whispers into roars. And here's a little secret. Repetition rewires your brain. Neurologically, it's creating new pathways, like paving a road to positivity instead of trudging down the old muddy path. Keep it light. Don't beat yourself up if you slip. Just chuckle and correct course. Finally, day 3, integration and celebration. By now, you're rolling, so let's weave this into your everyday life. Morning routine? Amp up those affirmations with feeling. Don't just say them, feel them in your bones. "I attract success effortlessly," said with a grin that says you mean it. Throughout the day, integrate by talking to yourself like you talk to a beloved friend. If a pal messed up, you wouldn't say, "You're useless." You'd say, "Hey, it's okay. Learn and move on." Do the same for you. When challenges pop up, use self-talk as your shield. "This is temporary, and I'm stronger than it." To celebrate, treat yourself. Maybe a walk in the park, affirming, "I deserve this joy." Or share a win with someone, tell a friend, "I've been practicing positive self-talk, and it's changing things." At day's end, reflect on the shifts. What felt different? Lighter mood? More energy? Celebrate those, no matter how small. I did it. 3 days of talking myself up, and I'm hooked. These steps are bite-sized, right? No overwhelm, just steady wins. And the beauty is, anyone can do them. Busy parent, stressed student, overworked professional. Start small. Even one affirmation a day snowballs. But knowledge without action is like a car without gas, pretty, but going nowhere. So here's your call to action. Pick one thing from today. Maybe that morning gratitude list or interrupting a negative thought. Do it right after this video ends. Say to yourself, "I'm starting now," and mean it. Drop a comment below. I'm committing to day 1. Let's build a community of positive self-talkers. As we wrap this up, remember, my friend, you're not just talking to yourself. You're scripting your destiny. These 3 days could be the spark that ignites a lifetime of abundance and joy. Keep that inner dialogue kind, empowering, and a tad humorous. Life's too short for anything less. If this resonated, hit that subscribe button for more nuggets like this, short, sharp, and soul-stirring. Share your transformations in the comments. I love hearing how you're blooming. Until next time, talk to yourself like the star you are. You've got this. Let me tell you a funny story from my own life to illustrate this. Years ago, I was preparing for a big event, and my mind was a whirlwind of, what if I flop? What if no one listens? I caught myself and switched to, this is going to be wonderful, and I'll connect beautifully. Lo and behold, it turned out splendidly. Coincidence? I think not. It's the power of directed thought. Expanding on the garden analogy, philosophically, ancient wisdom teaches that as a man thinketh, so is he. Your self-talk is your thinking out loud to your soul. Make it uplifting, and watch your life uplift. For the steps, let's dive deeper into day 1. Awareness isn't passive, it's active listening to your inner world. Set reminders on your phone every few hours. Check self-talk. When you catch a negative, don't judge, just observe and interrupt. Thanks for the input, but no thanks. Add humor. Pretend it's a bad radio station and change the channel. On replacement, craft affirmations that resonate, not generic ones. Personalize. If money's tight, prosperity flows to me easily. Say them with conviction, like declaring to the universe. Integration means making it habit. Link to routines. Brushing teeth, affirm health. Driving, affirm safety and ease. More examples. If you're single and doubting love, self-talk. I am lovable and attract wonderful relationships. Humor. Universe. Send someone who laughs at my jokes. For parents, I am patient and wise in guiding my children. Instead of, I'm failing as a mom. At work, I am competent and valued. Not, I'll get fired. Scientific bit. Studies show positive self-talk reduces cortisol, boosts serotonin. Logical. It's self-fulfilling prophecy. Philosophical. Your words are creative force. Speak good into existence. Humor throughout. Don't talk to yourself like a villain in a bad movie. Be the hero. Extend with anecdotes. Suppose a woman I knew doubted her art. She affirmed, my creativity flows freely, and soon sold pieces. Another. Man with health issues affirmed, my body heals perfectly, and improved. Encourage. Try it for 3 days. What have you lost? Call to action. Start with one affirmation now. Commented. Conclusion. You're magnificent. Talk like it. Subscribe for more. Peace is the rain and the sunshine that forces those seeds to sprout. It is the active force that coaxes life from the soil. Without your word, those gorgeous dreams just stay underground, dormant, waiting for a signal that never comes. You can't just think about a rose and expect it to bloom. You have to command it to grow. You have to announce to the world, with conviction and clarity, there shall be roses here, and they shall be magnificent. It's a spiritual law, my dear, as simple and as undeniable as gravity. You don't just hope you won't float away. You know you won't. You operate your entire life on that knowing. In the very same way, you must know your word has power. You must operate from that truth. But oh, my dear, we get so terribly careless with this magnificent power, don't we? We go around announcing our limitations like we're reading the evening news. We say, I'm so broke, and then we wonder why our wallet feels perpetually lighter. We sigh to a friend over coffee and say, nothing ever works out for me, and then we act utterly surprised when the entire day falls apart by lunchtime. We declare, this always happens, and then seem shocked when it indeed happens again. The universe, my sweetheart, is the most devoted, literal-minded servant you could ever have, and it is always, always taking your words as its direct orders. It's terribly efficient, but it has no sense of sarcasm, darling. It doesn't understand a joke. So when you offhandedly joke, I'll probably catch that cold everyone has. It just nods faithfully and says, as you wish. Your word is your wand, my love, and you've been pointing it at all the things you don't want, wondering why they keep appearing. This is the core of the challenge, my dear. It matters because your life is not happening to you. It is happening through you and for you, responding to the energy and the vibration of your own commands. You are the architect, not a tenant complaining about the faulty plumbing. You have the blueprint and you have the power to build, but you've been leaving the most important tool, your voice, in the toolbox. This is why you feel stuck, sweetheart. This is why change feels so elusive. You're waiting for the blueprint to build the house all by itself, and it simply can't, Wolf. It needs the foreman that's you, darling, to yell, "Start building." So, we must become conscious generals of our own speech, darlings. We must become master artists, selecting our words like we're choosing the finest jewels from a vault, not just grabbing handfuls of gravel from the roadside. This is a practice, a delightful and powerful practice. It begins with awareness, sweetheart. For one entire day, I want you to become a gentle detective of your own dialogue. Don't get cross with yourself, just get curious. Listen to the little phrases of lack and limitation that slip out so casually. Hear yourself say, "I'm terrible at remembering names," or "I always get lost," or "I'm so bad with technology." When you hear it, I want you to smile, darling. Just a gentle, knowing smile. Don't scold yourself. That's just using more negative command. Instead, smile and say, gently, "Cancel that. It's not a sin. It's just an old bad habit you picked up somewhere." And we can laugh at our habits, can't we? We can see the humor in our own forgetfulness. Once you've caught the culprit, my love, it is time to issue a new, magnificent decree, and this must be done out loud. I cannot stress this enough. I don't care if you're in your car, your kitchen, or your closet. Your own ears must hear the vibration of your own faith. This is not about begging a distant God. This is not about hoping the stars align. This is about commanding the substance of the universe, which is always listening, always ready to obey. Don't say, "I wish I felt better." That's a plea. Command it. Say, "I command vibrant, perfect, and radiant health to flow through every cell of my body now." Don't whimper, "I need more money." That is a statement of lack. Declare, "I command infinite divine supply to manifest for me now in surprising, perfect, and delightful ways. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly." Say it like you mean it, darling. Stand up straight. Put your hand on your heart. Say it like the magnificent, powerful creator you are, the queen, the king of your own experience. You are not asking for permission. You are stating a divine fact. And then, my dear, the third and most crucial step, you must act as if it is already yours. This is where your faith becomes tangible. This is how you walk your talk. If you have commanded a wonderful new job, you must polish your shoes. You must update your resume. You must act as if the interview is already on its calendar. If you have commanded a beautiful new home, you must start clearing out a drawer. You must look at paint samples. You must drive through the neighborhood you see yourself in. This is not about pretending sweetness. This is about showing the universe you are serious, that you are in alignment with your command. You are preparing the landing strip for the magnificent ship of your good that is already in flight, coming to you by the swiftest possible route. You are proving your faith by your actions. You are meeting your own command halfway. This is a practice, my love. It's not a one-time spell. It is a way of life. It is moving through your day, consciously choosing your words, not letting old, weary phrases fall out of your mouth out of habit. It is catching yourself and gently, humorously, correcting course. It is starting your morning not with a groan and a grab for the phone, but with a decree. I command this to be a day of magnificent surprises and divine connections. Everything I need comes to me easily today. It is ending your day not with a list of complaints, but with a prayer of gratitude for the commands that are even now making their way to you. So here is what you will do for me, sweetheart. Before the sun sets today, you will open your mouth and you will command one thing, just one, to start. Make it something that makes your heart sing. It doesn't have to be about world peace right away, darling. It can be simple. It can be, I command joy to find me in the middle of doing the laundry. Or, I command a perfect parking space to open up for me right in front of the store. Or, I command a conversation that leaves me feeling inspired and seen. But you must say it aloud. You must give it the vibration of your voice. Let your own ears hear the sound of your own power. That is the switch, my dear. That is the moment everything begins to shift. The world doesn't change by wishful thinking, my darling. It changes by deliberate, spoken word. You are not a beggar at the feast of life. You are an honored guest with a reserved seat, and your word is your engraved invitation. It's time to stop waiting for someone else to call your name. It's time to stop waiting for an invitation you already possess. Open your mouth, my love. Plant your feet firmly on the ground. Take a deep breath of that divine air, and command your joy, command your peace, command your prosperity. The universe is leaning in, eager, waiting to hear your voice. It's been waiting your whole life. Don't you dare keep it waiting any longer. Now go on, darling. Speak your word. And then, you must come back and tell me what happened. I want to hear all about your wonderful news. I'll be right here, waiting to celebrate with you.